So this gentleman, Wellington Dickens the third, this is a newer story that was brought to my attention from one of my friends for a long time. She called me and she said, "Hey Brian, have you seen this?" And I hadn't. And I like it when people do that. This gentleman killed four of his children and confessed to it, and he killed them over a period of months in North Carolina, over there on Springtooth Drive in Zebulon, North Carolina. North Carolina is already the issue with their death penalty and their death row inmates right now. There's 122 death row inmates in North Carolina prisons, and they have not exacted an execution since 2006. But I just did the video about the Russian girl that was on the bus, and this guy just stabbed her and killed her. Her name was Erna Zarutsky. Now, with that North Carolina case, it brought more attention to the death penalty and those that run the death penalty, and the government signed into law to get it back going again just recently, not too long ago. So in that same community, what we have here is this gentleman who killed four of his kids over a 4-month period. One of them was an 18-year-old, and he let a 3-year-old live. And I'm only finding out about this a few moments ago, about an hour ago, and I want to follow it and see what they do regarding the death penalty in North Carolina. And then we got this guy that comes along. I think they're just going to start, with this going on there. Why haven't? There's no reason for 122 people to be on death row in some since 2006. There's no reason for that. If you're going to have it and you're going to pay out the taxpayer money to house these death row inmates, then they need to follow through with their sentence if we're going to have it, or we need to get rid of it. I want to listen to this 911 call, and this will be the beginning of the case for me, the Wellington Dickens case out of North Carolina. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, sir, what's going on?
I killed my children. It's a lot to explain, but in a nutshell, it's all my fault. I'm not even going. It's my fault. It's bad. I didn't hurt them on some when I say just kill, I didn't use knives or nothing to cut nobody or shoot nobody or nothing. It started out as me over disciplining. That's it. And leaving them out to eat, leaving stuff out to eat, it's a lot of stuff.
Okay, and sir, how did you do it? Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how did you do it?
I beat on them sometimes. They didn't want to eat. I didn't force them to eat. I told them that it was a punishment not to eat. I did a bunch of different little things. Thought I was trying to. It's a lot of things, and I'm trying to just do the right thing because I left something. I tried to call a lawyer earlier, but I could have maybe called a lot more lawyers. I just did one. I should have just started calling all of them, and just trying to basically turn. I was basically trying to turn myself in without it being extra. But like I said, if y'all want to do it extra, that's fine. I didn't know your procedures, and I'm not trying to
How old were the
tell you what not
children?
to do.
How old were the children?
Mm-hmm.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are the children?
10. Well, the oldest is my stepson. He's 18.
Okay, and the other one
And
was
then I
10?
got the other one is 10. Yes, that's my oldest son. Then I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I got a 5-year-old daughter, and I have a son here now on my bed, and I'm not even gonna try to make it look. Well, I want to bring this up.
Okay, and sir, who is there with you now?
That's a
Sir,
TV here in the background. It's a television set.
Yes, ma'am.
who is there with you now?
Just me and my son.
You let the 3-year-old live for some reason.
Okay. And do you have any weapons on you?
No weapons on me. I do have some knives here, but not on me. Like I said, if you want me to, I'll come outside in my underwear. I don't know what y'all need me to be. I'm willing to do whatever you need me to do. I never had this in my life. You know, this
Okay,
nigga
and
right
sir,
here.
have you
So
been drinking or doing any drugs?
I did smoke, and I had like a sip of the champagne.
Okay.
Just real quickly, let's keep in mind that in April of 2024, this man walked in and found his wife dead, and he was not charged with it. I don't know what the situation is with that. I'm looking way more into this crime, especially with the death penalty situation that they have in North Carolina right now, because this guy's a prime candidate for it. Even though he's admitting to what he done, I mean, he does not sound like he is mentally. He doesn't sound like he's gotten anything mental wrong with him to me. The fact that he let one of the children live, and it seems like when I'm just listening to this 911 call, he said that he didn't shoot him and he didn't stab him. The medical examiner hasn't released the cause of death yet. It makes me think that he was starving them out. It makes me think that he's starving them out. So I don't know. I'm going to follow the rest of the story though.
Okay, and sir, you said your name was Wellington, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what made you want to do this?
It's really not. It wasn't up to me. Like I had God just influenced me. Like that's it. It wasn't me because I got nervous and I didn't do it when I was supposed to, and I was being a coward. And I just was trying to let my children. You know what I'm saying? When that was me, I was supposed to make those decisions, and it just spiraled, and it just got worse and worse and worse. That's it. And I just can't take it
Okay.
no more. I never did this before. Man, this stuff is crazy.
Okay, sir,
And I
there's
got
a
my
deputy
son. I just
outside,
feel
okay?
guilty. I'm guilty as hell.
Okay, there's a deputy outside, okay?
They outside right now.
Yes, we have a deputy outside.
Okay.
Okay, sir, go speak with the deputy. I'm going to disconnect now, okay?
Wow. So I want to find it. Let's see. I'm going to share a different This is right here. I'm trying to find the address of this house. I'm going to share this right here. Uh, it's odd because he lives in a nice neighborhood. So I know it's on Springtooth Drive, and it's not that big of a street. It's a newer development, and it was in this one of these houses on this block here. But you can tell by looking at them that they're newer. They look like Ryan homes. That one might be a cheaper one, but you're looking at $300,000-$400,000 houses out here. The thing with this particular crime is that as he killed his children, and the oldest was 18. I think they're 18, 9, 6, and 10, I believe. I'll put that up here in just a minute because I only found about this a few minutes ago. He was taking each child as they died and putting them in the trunk of his car. And he had 4 kids in the trunk of his car. But he lived on this street right here, in Zebulon, North Carolina. So let's go and check something else out real quick because I'm just looking at this case. So we can learn it together. Let's see here. Need to stop that screen. Start this screen. Okay, so the thing with the death penalty in North Carolina is it's an issue, and I brought it up in the video that I did about Ernia Zarutsky. They got killed on the bus or the train. My death penalty changes in North Carolina under Erna's law, and I spoke about that a little bit. But what I didn't know was the state had 122 people on death row in North Carolina. It's crazy. So let's see if we can get through this right here. Probably be an ad. But I want to hear what they have to say here, and then I'll read it out, and then we'll go back to the story.
I am so Why can no one help me? Waiting this is a nightmare. Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
How Irina's law changes how the death penalty and capital punishment will work here in North Carolina. The bill was signed into law by Governor Josh Stein on Friday.
So here's a look at how North Carolina's death row stacks up to neighboring states. Right now, the state has 122 people on death row. That's more than South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Virginia combined.
WBTV's Katie Solt has been looking into the history of capital punishment and explains the changes this new law creates.
Due to ongoing legal challenges, North Carolina has not carried out an execution since 2006. But one expert I spoke to says that wasn't always the case. And now he's watching to see how Irina's law will change capital punishment.
North Carolina is actually historically one of the most active users of the death penalty.
Frank Baumgardner, a professor at UNC Chapel Hill, has extensively studied the death penalty and how it's used around the country and in North Carolina.
We've had over 400 people sentenced to death since 1976, but only 43 executions. And there haven't been any executions since 2006.
Under Irina's law, reviews of someone sentenced to death now have to happen within 2 years, something Baumgardner says is unrealistic.
Many people aren't even assigned an attorney for 2 years after they're sentenced to death. So it's quite problematic. And that will definitely be litigated because it's kind of an arbitrary deadline. And the courts aren't funded to deal with these things quickly.
He also says historically, many people also end up getting their death sentence overturned.
70% of all death sentences are overturned on appeal, which is probably surprising to people. And those reversals of sentence. That don't mean that the person goes free. Typically, it means that their death sentence is reversed and they have a new sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Those things often happen 25 and 30 years after the death sentence, which is also quite surprising, and you could call it dysfunctional.
And I reached out to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to ask specific questions about the death penalty changes. I did not hear back. Reporting in West Charlotte, Katie Solt, WBTV, on your side.
Katie, thank you.
Okay.
A life in motion is a life well lived.
Okay. So the case that they're talking about that has drawn new attention to the regulations of the death penalty being carried out in North Carolina is this Miss Zarutska. And I covered that about a week ago. We can do it again here real quick.
Arrest prior to what I'm about to speak on. Plagued with schizophrenia. I will give him that. There's no excuse for what he did. Randomly on a bus in North Carolina, sitting behind Miss Irna Zarutska, he just randomly started stabbing her about the chest and the throat. And that's not the sad part of it. It's sad, but that's not the saddest part. There were other people sitting right there that did not help her. Did not. As you see, there's people sitting right next to her in the row right next to her. No one got up to.
That's the crime in North Carolina that got them to start looking back at the death penalty. Having 122 inmates in there, like I was sharing with the person who called me about this. And she's like, well, there's 122 people on death row in there. I said, well, there should maybe be 20, 30 tops. And that's what it is, the average around through there. But with this case now, it's a breaking case. It happened this week. We don't have even all the details yet. But I'm going to look it up real quick and see if we can bring some light to it. I'm going to try and find the most recent. Okay, here's the most recent story, the most recent coverage of it. Let me present that, and then I'll look in Justia Law and bring more detail to it later. Right now, I just want to share what I got. Okay, let me try it again. That zapped on me. Let's see here. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah, that's it. So we'll watch this together and see what was going on.
The first time from the father of 18-year-old Sean Brassfield. He was killed along with three of his step-siblings by his stepfather, 38-year-old Wellington Dickens III. Brassfield's father, who spoke to me under the condition that his name not be used, tells me he had not seen his son in 10 years. We spoke by telephone this evening as he told me Dickens sent him a Facebook message this past August asking for help with Brassfield.
Now I know where the house is.
Who has a disability. Brassfield's father said he kept his son on his insurance so he would be notified if his son ever received care. Weeks later, he'd learn of his son's death. Brassfield's father telling me over the phone in part, quote, "I never would have thought this would happen. I know there are a lot of eyes on Sean, but there are 3 other innocent children who died and a 3-year-old right now with nobody."
Okay. Okay, so that's the story on that. I want to go back to I'm looking for I'm looking. Let's see here.
Is it okay if I get you some food for his bowl? Yes.
Let me see here. I had that street. I will find it and I will report more on this story as soon as I can figure out more about it. Wellington Dickens III, North Carolina, killed 4 of his children.